What's up everyone, welcome to Math with Gaston question 5 November 2022 grade 12 maths paper 2. It was a trigonometry question. I am Gaston Mapala. Let's go through those questions, starting here with 5.1, where it said without using a calculator determine the following if the square root of 13 sine x plus 3 is equal to 0 and it lies within 90 and 70 degrees on the Cartesian plane. All right, let's come here and have a look at this question here. It says there sine and tan and also this one as well. Okay, so they are saying without the use of the calculator, therefore I'm assuming that we're gonna have to use the diagram thereof. Okay, so now let's come here and illustrate this on the diagram. It says that here is our diagram here. Given this, we need to work it out here nicely and transform it out, or rather simplify it so that we can see what is happening here. So we're gonna leave sine x here as it is, and then we're gonna make it the subject. The formula is going to be -3 all over square root of 13. Okay, so therefore we know that from Sakatua, you guys remember that sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, therefore tan is opposite over adjacent. All right, great stuff. So now here we know that this is cos to opposite over hypotenuse, which in this case is going to be between 90, there is 90 there, yes, is 90 degrees here, 90 over, this is 270 right here. Okay, so we can see that here this is the same as opposite, which is y over r. So therefore we can already see that y here is negative, so it's gonna be on this quadrant here. Okay, so our y is -3. So what is our r? Our r is square root of 13. So x, we don't know it, it's unknown. Okay, so I think we are ready now to answer the questions. Let's come here. 5.1.1. It says here we need to determine sine 360 plus x. Okay, so this is a reduction angle, so sine 360 is the same as sine x once it's reduced. Okay, it's the same as x, so which going to give us the same thing as that one that is given there, which is -3 over square root of 30. Okay, so let's come here. 5.1.2. 5.1.2, it says here we need to find tan x, which is going to be given by opposite over adjacent, which is going to be y over x. So we don't have x here, we need to look for x, therefore we can apply Pythagoras theorem to get x. So we need to apply this theorem to get x, okay, which state that x squared plus y squared is equals to r squared. So therefore we have got x is what we're looking for, x squared. So we just make this the subject to the formula to look for y. So we're going to substitute, therefore our r is 13, square root of 13 rather, minus y, which is -3 all squared. So therefore here, if we put this into our calculator, we're going to have simplify 13 minus 9, which gives us this is squared here, so which gives us square root of 4. Because I've already taken this square, that side is giving us a square root of 4, which gives us plus minus 2. So we need to decide whether the 2 here is positive or negative. So we know we're on the third quadrant, therefore 2 is going to be negative. Therefore with that, therefore we can say tan is going to be equal to y, which is -3 all over -2, which therefore gives us 3 over 2. Okay, and it makes sense. We know that from Cartesian plane, we know that tan is positive on this quadrant here. All right, great stuff. 5.1. 3. 5.1.3 says that we need to calculate cos 180 plus x. Okay, cos 180 plus x is going to be given by negative cos x, because it's on the third quadrant. 1 plus 180 is on the third quadrant, where I think you guys will see more when we do this on the reduction angles. This is where cos is negative. If you want to see more of these examples of the reduction angles, please watch a video on grade 12 reduction angles. It will show you all the basics of how to reduce an angle to this one here. All right, so we know cos x is going to be what? Cos s is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse. Is going to, let's come here, minus what is adjacent. Adjacent is x, which is negative 2 over hypotenuse, which is square root of 13. And therefore our final answer is going to be 2 all over square root of 13. Okay, all right, great stuff, guys. That's how you deal with a question like this one without using the use of a calculator. Let's move right along to question 5.2. all right, 5.2 says determine the value of the following expression without using the calculator. So this is the reduction angles as well. Okay, let's come here and have a look at this one here. Okay, this is a reduction angle, guys. I'm just gonna give you a quick small lesson when it comes to reduction angles. I think I've done a video on this one. Please go and watch trigonometry for grade 11 lesson, where we have detailed this very nicely for you to fully understand. If you have forgotten about it, please make sure that you go and view that video. I'll also try to put it on the description below so that you can have a look at that video as well. All right, okay, so with reduction angles, guys, there's something very important that you need to know, especially when it comes to sine a plus. All right, okay, so there's this one of sine 90 plus x, and therefore cos 90 plus x. There's also minus x as well, but those ones you just have to know that they change. Okay, so the thing that you need to know here, guys, is that sine will change to cos. Okay, whenever you see sine 90 minus something, it will change to cos. The most critical one is this one here, guys, where sine, when cos changes to sine, it changes to a negative sign if it's a plus. So this is the most critical one, guys, that you need to know. Then the rest will be just a reduction as normal. All right, okay, you just have to know when is it positive on which quadrant and whatnot. So basically, also on that lesson that I'm saying you guys must go to watch of grade 11 rather, I did put a cast diagram here to explain that 180. Therefore we've got 270 here, and then here we have got a 0 and also a 360 degrees here. Okay, so we did explain that we know that on this quadrant we've got a 180 minus, and then here it's a 180 plus. Okay, great stuff. And then here you've got a 360 minus. All right, and this is how you're going to deal with these questions here thereof. All right, okay, so let's come here now, solve this equation here. It's a reduction, so this is a cos plus. Here we go, we know exactly what to do. We just discussed that now. So it's going to be negative sine theta. Okay, then sine, here we have got a negative here. So if you've got a negative here, guys, don't panic, just remove the negative. Okay, take out the negative as a common factor, and then it will make your life easy. Okay, this is what I'm referring to. Sine, okay, you gonna take out a negative here, then you're gonna be left with, you are going to be left with 180, because now the 180 here is going to be positive. You're gonna be left with 180 minus theta. Okay, so that when you multiply out with the negative, it will go back here. Okay, can you see that? Good stuff, guys. And then plus here, you just have to multiply out with this negative that is here on the theta. That is negative here on the theta here. All right, there you go. So our negative sign will remain here at the top. So therefore here at the bottom we already know 180 minus is here on the second quadrant. So this is cast diagram, so we know that sign is positive here, so it is going to be a positive sign. But remember, there's a negative there, so when you multiply with that negative will come out here, and that is that. All right, so therefore here you need to multiply with the negative here, -3 sine theta. Okay, so once you finish doing that, now you can see that now here on the top and the bottom we've got negative sign, so we can take out sine as a common factor here. Okay, you can take out, no, can you? No, not really. Just leave the top as it is, negative sign. So here these are like terms, negative sine theta, -3 theta is going to add up to -4 sine theta, which will result in theta, sine theta cancelling out. Therefore you're left with -1 over -4, which therefore gives us 1 over 4. All right, you can punch this straight into your calculator, and guys, you will see that this is therefore correct. Please go and revise this. Okay, my advice, go and revise this, guys. Please go and revise all of this. Okay, check the description below on this video, where you will see that I have put in a description below. Go and revise reduction angles of grade 11. Okay, go and revise this. If you are still lost here, please check out the video that is here on the description below for this channel, or go to the playlist for grade 11 and you will see the video for trigonometry lesson right there. All right, let's move right along. Moving right along, let's move to question 5.3. 5.3, determine the general solution of the following equation. All right, this one they're just giving us on a silver platter is already factorized straight away. There's no need to remove the bracket here. You guys know, but you're probably asking yourself, say no, say, but what? No, don't confuse yourself. Let me give you a simple example. What if this was given like this, x plus 1 and therefore x minus 1? What were you going to do, guys? Then they say solve for x. You're just going to go straight away and then solve for x. Okay, -1 or x is equals to 1. This is what you're going to do. So even here you are solving for x, there is no need to remove the bracket. Okay, I hope it's clear, guys. I'm just going to remove this because I was just showing you that if it's already in the brackets, they've given it to us on a silver platter. Okay, so we are going to have two solutions here. Let's go ahead and say, okay, cos x plus 2 sine x is equals to 0, or 3 sine 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, now we're gonna start this side and then solve for x from this side. Okay, I am gonna take sine that side, so cos x is equal to minus 2 sine x, all divided by, I need to divide here. Okay, let me rather divide by cos all sides. Divide by cos on all the sides. This cos and this cos would cancel out, and then sine over that is going to give me -2 tan. Sine over cos gives us tan is going to be equal to 1. Therefore divide both sides by -2. We divided both sides by -2 here. So now therefore I'm going to say tan x is equals to -half over 2. Okay, so now we need to we're looking for the x angle. So because there's a negative here, guys, we're not going to put this negative when we calculate it. So therefore this is not going to be the real angle, because now we left the negative out. I think I've explained this a lot in previous videos. If you have not subscribed on this channel, please subscribe so that we are able to see the other videos that I am talking about on this channel. Right, so now therefore, because we left the negative out, this will be the reference angle. So after we put that in our calculator, second function, and then we say tan 0.5, which is 1 over 2, it gives us a reference angle of 26.56 degrees. Remember, this is not the real angle, so we're gonna come here and say therefore the real angle is going to be given by 180 minus, this is where tan is negative, which is on this quadrant here where tan is negative. So it's going to be given by 180 minus the reference angle, which is this one here, which is 26.560, is going to be given by, is going to give us 153.43 degrees minus, or remember plus, rather plus K 180 for the tan. Okay, and that's how you would deal with this part of the equation. Now let's go to the another side of the equation. Let's solve for x here. Sine 2x, we are taking 1 to that side, therefore we divide by 3 on both sides here. We divide by 3 on both sides, therefore we are left with sine 2x is equals to 1 over 3. Therefore we're gonna have to go to the second function, and then 2x is equal to shift second function 1 over 3. Now we're gonna go to our calculators and have a look at this one, guys. There's no negative here, so therefore we won't have any reference angle that we have to deal with. So now once we put this in our calculator, it is therefore giving us 19.47 degrees. Remember, we need to say plus 360 here for the period. We divide by 2 here. Everything thereof needs to be divided by 2. Is equals to x is going to be equals to 9.74 plus K180. For the different solutions, guys, here they're giving us that is in between what and what. We are gonna come in substitute k equals to 1, k equals to -1, k equals to 0, and thereof. Okay, yeah. So if you want to see more on trigonometry, please go have a look at that lesson. I think if you don't get 12, we have a lesson as well of trigonometry. Okay, because right here we're just dealing with the past paper. I expect that by the time if we are here doing past papers, you should be able to know this concept or deal with them. If you don't and you are getting confused, please make sure that you subscribe on or ask for me to assist you on one-on-one lessons. I do online lessons as well. I should be able to make time to schedule a lesson with you thereof. So right now let's move to 5.4. Great, let's come here to 5.4. 5.4, if you are given this identity of cos in bracket x plus y times cos in bracket x minus y, it should be equals to 1 minus sine x minus sine squared y. Okay, so now we need to prove this identity yet here. Okay, what we can do here, we're gonna say from the left hand side. So it means we are taking this side here, which is cos x plus y multiplied by cos x minus y. Okay, great stuff. So now what we need to do now, we know from our double angle formulas. Please go look at your formula sheet, guys. You can pause this video right here and have a look at your formula sheet, because right here I'm just gonna go straight to expanding of this particular identity right here. Okay, or double angle rather. So it's going to be saying cos x times cos y, okay, minus sine x multiplied by sine y. Okay, therefore this is all in bracket because this is from this part right here. It gives us that. Okay, so now let's see the another part here. There is another part, which is this one here, is therefore would have given us this part that we are looking at here. Is going to be cos x, okay, minus sine, is it minus or is it plus, guys? Okay, it's a plus here, thank you very much, plus sine y. Great. So thereof, if this is the case, now we can see that this is the difference between two squares. Or if you want, guys, you see, say we don't see what you're talking about, what you can do is to remove, we need to remove the bracket here. We can do binomial. Okay, all right. So now let's go ahead, this times that, let's say, let me mark them with a star, the other one I'll mark them with a dots, guys. So star times star, first times first, as some teachers like to call it. Okay, so it's going to be cos squared y. So I'm not even going to do the middle term here, guys, because you guys are in grade 12 already. You can see that if you were to do the middle term, it's just going to be this one and this one. It's just going to be first times last, and then here's going to be first last times first, which they would eventually cancel out. You can double check that if you want to. So I'm just gonna go straight to this one, say last times last. I am gonna say this last one there times this last one there, which is going to give us negative sine squared x sine 2y. Okay, great stuff. So now with that said, let's come here. We need to change this. Okay, remember our final answer here, which is on the right side, I can only see sine here. So already, if I've got this one which is sine, I should be happy with that. So I must be able to change these ones here, change them, both of them, to sine. Okay, so based on our double angle formula, this should be 1 minus sine squared x, and therefore 1 minus sine squared y minus sine squared x, which is the one that is already there, squared y. Okay, good stuff. So here what we can do, we can expand this now again and see what we are going to get. All right, so let's multiply throughout. 1 times 1 is going to give us 1. Do I need to put in the bracket? No, there's no multiplication anymore after this one, so therefore no need for bracket. 1 times 1, so therefore 1 times negative is going to be negative sine squared y, 1 negative sine squared y times 1 negative sine squared x. Okay, and therefore negative times negative will give us a positive, which gives us sine squared times sine squared y. Sine squared x is going to give us sine squared times y. Great, therefore minus sine squared x sine squared y. Therefore sine squared x is sine squared x sine squared y plus sine squared where they are here. Therefore the other one is positive, the other one is negative. Therefore these two will therefore minus each other out. Therefore we are left with 1 minus sine squared y minus sine squared x, which is therefore equal to the right hand side, which is equal to the right hand side. Okay, and that's how you would deal with a question like this one, guys. Now let's move to 5.4.2. okay, anyone who has got a question on this one, please let me know. Guys, I think I've done more than enough to explain here. I think it looks better. All right, great stuff. So now let's have a look at this one here. Determine the value of 1 minus sine 40 minus that without the use of the calculator. Okay, great stuff. Okay, now let's come here. We're gonna come here and say, okay, 5.4.2, they are saying our identity is given by that. So they are saying 1 minus sine squared 40, 5 minus sine squared 15. Okay, now let's say we should simplify this here. Okay, if we have a look at this, so it means that this one is the x, this one is the y. Okay, so now if we go to our original equation, can you see that you have got this part here where you can substitute, because this one here looks a bit complicated. So if the left hand side equals to the right side, we are gonna say from that left hand side that we had initially, we can substitute this x here and this y. So let's come here and say, okay, cos x, what is x here? X is 45. Okay, it says plus y, which is 15, close bracket, multiply by cos x, which is 45, minus 15, close. Okay, it's equal to, okay, now 45 plus 15 is going to be cos 60 degrees times cos 30 degrees. All right, now we've got special angles. We know what to do with these ones. Put in your calculator there, or you can just put that diagram where you know that cos 60 is equals to 1 over 2. Sorry about that. Cos 50 is equals to 1 over 2, and then multiply by cos 30, which is square root of 3 over 2 rather, which when we simplify is going to give us square root of 3 over 4. Great stuff. Now with that said, guys, that's how you would deal with a question like this one. If you don't understand, please let me know on the comment section below. Let's now move to 5.5. Let's now move to 5.5 rather. All right, now 5.5 is here. It said this expression of a tree, consider the following expression of a trigonometry. Rewrite the expression as a single trigonometry ratio. Okay, great stuff. So now we are given this. Okay, very interesting question indeed. Sine x cos 3x minus 8 sine x cos x. Okay, so now we need to simplify this. Let me see what I can do, what we can do here. We can take out a common factor. Okay, because I see there's got an 8 there, there's got a 16 there. 16 and 8 are the same. Sine and a sine, sine and a cos, sine and a cos there. So therefore let's take out a common factor of 8 sine x cos x. Okay, therefore we are going to be left with 2. Okay, sine is already out. We're going to be left with 2 cos squared x. Okay, 2 cos squared x minus 1 close bracket. Okay, but we know that this is a double angle, so we can easily change this again if we want to. 8 sine x cos x is going to be cos close bracket. We change this from double angle, guys. Please make sure that you check your formula sheet for these double angles. You should be able to remember them by now. Right, so with that, how do we simplify this now? They said down this here 4, we can simply say 4, then 4 times 2 by sine x cos x. Okay, times our double angle there, cos 2x. Okay, this one here is also a double angle, so we can also simplify this one as well. We can also simplify it by saying what do we have here? We can also simplify it by saying how are you going to do this? We're going to simplify it by saying this is the same as saying sine 2x also multiply by cos 2x. Okay, this 4 here can also be reduced to 2 times 2 times sine 2x times cos x 2x as well. So this one here, this part here, can also still be simplified to the next identity, which is going to be 2 sine, because it's a 2 and a 2 again, so it's just going to be 4x times cos 2x. Okay, there you go. Oh, rather no, I didn't explain this properly, guys. You can therefore simplify this. Okay, this all together, not like that. Made a mistake here. You can simplify this all together because it's a sine and a cos, and we know that identity of a sine and a cos where there's a 2 and a 2 there. So therefore this will bring us 2 sine 4x. Okay, so therefore our single trigonometry ratio is therefore given by sine 4x. Okay, I hope you guys fully understand this. Basically here we're just applying only one identity, which is that identity of 2 sine x and cos x. Please make sure that you fully understand this, guys, because questions like this, they like to come a lot in an exam. All right, so let's come here, and then they're saying here, he said, for which values of x in the interval 90 and 0 will this equation here have its minimum values? Okay, will this equation have minimum values? Okay, so now what we can do now, because we already know that this whole thing here can be reduced to that, it can become sine 2 for x. So now they are saying referring to it having a minimum value, so minimum or maximum we get it at -1 for the trigonometry or a standard sine graph like this one here. All right, so therefore we need to come here and solve for x. So we are going to divide by 2 on both sides. Sine 4x is equal to negative 0.5, which is a half there. So we are going to come here and have a look at this one. We'll say 4x, we have a look at second function in our calculator, and therefore we put on we put on this negative, we put on this negative half rather, which will therefore gives us, if we divide by 4, it will therefore gives us an x value of 67.50. So therefore this would be our minimum value on this version. I am Gaston Mapala. Let me see you on the next upload, where we'll be doing question 5 November 2021. Make sure that you are subscribed so that you don't miss out when we upload that video.